Excuse me. Sorry about that. Right as I hit go live, I got a little cough attack. So I apologize about that. How's everyone doing today? Just going to wait a little bit to let some people on here. As I take a little drink of my water. All right. Still got a little scratchiness in my throat. I've been talking quite a lot these last few days and staying up late, working a little bit, lots of hours, not a little bit extra, but lots of hours. Can somebody please give me an audio check, please, as you jump on? Let me know that you can hear me okay. Make sure that everything's okay. I know the visual's fine because I can see the feed there and I can see the feed here. But can you hear me all right? Let me know. And we'll get moving here in just a bit. Where's my eraser, my sharpener? So all we're going to need today for our little session is a pencil with an eraser. Hi, Catherine. How are you? Yes, loud and clear. Awesome. All right. Thank you for joining me again, Catherine. Appreciate it. Heather Campbell, how's it going? So for today, we're not going to need anything more than a pencil with an eraser. Okay, pencil with an eraser, something to draw on. I'm going to be drawing our little axolotl fish on this canvas here, 11 by 14 inch canvas. Of course, if you got a mixed media paper, drawing paper, whatever it is that you've got, you want to use whatever you've got. Okay. We're going to get started here pretty quickly. I'm just going to give it about a minute to let others on. We've got quite a few watching right now. But anyway, so we're going to be drawing this. We're not going to be doing any painting today, but of course, you can paint it. You can use colored pencils, acrylic paint, watercolors, whatever it is you're comfortable with, markers even. But today, I'm going to be showing you how to draw this step by step, completely freehand. Also, just want to make sure that you're all aware. Not sure how many of you on here were on my previous live feed, but the art membership doors close tonight. For those of you that don't know, I'm launching a online art membership here on Facebook, exclusive private group. The founding member launch has been going on all week. Doors close tonight at midnight. So if you have not heard and would like to find out more details, in the description of my video, I do have a link. You can click on it. It'll take you to the Facebook post that I made early in the week, or I think it was last Saturday. Around it, all the details are in there. And if you are interested in joining, make sure you guys join by tonight, midnight, which is when the doors close. Now, the doors will open once again in the fall, but the price point will be higher at that point. To lock in your price, your founding members' price of $20 a month, you want to join before midnight today, okay? But all right, what's happening, Zuli? How are you? Okay, so let's get right into our little drawing here. I'm going to change my screen here. Now, feel free to ask questions, comment, put your comments into the comment section. Put your questions into the comment section. I'd like to know what your name is, where you're joining me from, and maybe who you're drawing with. I'm assuming we have quite a few kiddos on today, so let me know what's happening. What's happening, Zuli? Haven't seen you in a while, or haven't seen your name pop up in a while, and I just lost the lead on my pencil, so let me quickly sharpen it again, and we'll get moving. Again, all I've got is a number 2 pencil, nothing fancy. We're not going to be painting this today. But you can if you'd like. If you want to do this in chalk, maybe you have chalk pencil, maybe you've got watercolor pencil, what have you. As long as you can erase, that's all that really matters. So I'm going to change the screen on my view here. It's a lot larger, and I can't see your comments. So I'll let you know when I'm looking over at the screen so you can ask away anything that you may be on your mind regarding the membership or the drawing today. Okay? I'm going to go step by step in recreating this piece. I'm going to take my time. We're probably going to be drawing for about 30 minutes to an hour, okay? The session is being recorded, and you can come back to it whenever you want. It'll be saved, so you can come back later this evening, tomorrow, etc., to join in. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at our little axolotl fish over here. Little axolotl fish in a bucket from Minecraft. So anytime I'm going to draw something freehand, I like to make sure that my proportions are correct. I want to make sure that, I leave enough space to be able to include everything. Oh, I didn't change my screen. Give me a second, everybody. Let me change my view. There we go. Much better. Now you guys see less of me and much more of the image. Okay, so we got two main parts to our little fish. His little square or rectangle head. Okay, of course that's going to sit somewhere up on top. Okay, and then of course we got the bucket underneath, the little bucket that he sits in. Everything else is all just kind of extra, right? Peripheral. Got his little arms that hang down. His little, I guess these would actually be fins, maybe, or little tentacle thingies I've seen they have, or those what's on their heads. Anyway, little arms hang over the edge here. We got the handles on the bucket, and then we got the little things around his head there. Okay, so we want to make sure we leave enough space for everything. So what I'm going to start with is some really fine sketch lines. I'm just going to add some lines that are probably going to change as we go along. Anytime I draw something, I like to start with really light lines so they're easy to erase. Okay, once we have lines that we like and we want, we can darken them up a little bit. If you're planning on painting over your drawing, make sure you leave your lines light so that you don't interfere. Your pencil lines do not interfere with your paint. Okay, they're easy to cover up. All right, let's start with that bucket. Where's the bucket sit on our paper? Okay, our paper on our picture here, the bucket sits a little higher than halfway. If I was to look at halfway mark on my paper, that's about right here, maybe a little bit lower. So our bucket actually sits right about at the middle point. So I'm just going to take my canvas here, and I'm going to find about where the middle is, and I'm going to go across like this. I'm just going to draw a nice light line. Now we're going to erase this later, but it's a nice little line that tells me where the middle of my canvas is. It also tells me about where the middle of this opening for the bucket is going to be. Okay, I know it's really light. Again, it's going to be erased, but for now, it helps me see where everything is. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and start with the edge of my bucket. Okay, so I'm going to find my bucket's about right here in the middle somewhere. Okay, you don't want to make it too narrow or too wide. So my bucket on my 11 by 14 inches, 14 inches high, 11 inches across. My bucket is about 3.5 inches wide, the opening of my bucket, okay? So, and this can all be adjusted as we go. Just because that's what I'm starting with doesn't mean it can't change, okay? One thing, again, I always tell people is don't stress about erasing. Erasing is all part of the process. And then I'm just going to go ahead and block out where the bottom is. The bottom of my bucket is narrower than the top, right? So if this is the top of my bucket, the bottom is a little narrower. So we just kind of do this with the fingers. Bring them in a little bit closer, bring it down to the bottom, and that's about the bottom edge of the bucket. Now, I can already see that I'm making my bucket a little too narrow, so I'm going to go ahead and increase a little bit. So these are going to come out a little bit further. After all, these are my edges, okay, the edges of my bucket. So from right there, I'm just going to draw two angled lines. They come in a little bit, kind of do this. And you notice I'm holding my pencil really nice and loose. There's nothing too hard about this. I'm not going like this and getting really close to my canvas. I'm just lightly sketching in these lines that eventually are going to be a bucket. Okay. The main thing here that you want to be careful with is that the bottom line here is a little bit round, and then the two lines come in slightly at an angle. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is this edge right here, the circular edge, right, of the opening of the rim. So right about over here on this edge, I'm going to come down and I'm just going to bring this over, and it wraps up almost like we're making a smiley face. Okay, like if you can imagine, right, what a smile looks like. That's all we're doing right there. After I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and take my pencil and I'm just going to remove this line right here because we don't need it anymore. Now, one thing you want to be careful of is you don't want to make your bucket so tall that you don't leave enough room for the head on top, right? So if my bucket was up here, I'd leave a little bit of space for our little fish's head. So just kind of make sure you're gauging as you're going, making sure that you're leaving enough space on top. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to get caught up. All right, I don't see any new questions on here. Again, I'm looking over the questions, the comments now. If you guys have any comments, any questions, please put them down there. Also, let me know. Let me know if let me know where you're painting from, where you're drawing from, where you're hanging out from. Put it in the comment section, right? And then maybe who you're drawing with. Again, this is being recorded, so you can always come back and do this later if you don't have time to do this today. But okay, over the top of my bucket on the outer edge, I'm just going to make two little lines that come up like this. These, of course, are those. And I'm not going to connect them for now. I'm going to stop right there. I'm just going to come in a little bit. What I'm going to draw next is the little fish's rectangular head. Now, a couple things we look at. It's a rectangle shape. It's an overall rectangle shape, but the edges are slightly curved. So the right edge curves, the left edge curves, bottom edge curves also. So I'm going to start with that. And actually, let's see. Yeah, I'll start with the bottom. So this bottom line that comes across. Just kind of do this. We want to leave some space underneath for his little arms and his body, right? I'm going to come down a little bit more. It's a little too high. Remember, it's okay to erase. It's okay to make adjustments as you go. Again, bottom of his little head is what we're doing now, and it has a nice curved line to it, okay? Once we do that, we're going to come up on each side. Same thing on the other side. So again, his head's a little rectangular, so you want to make sure it's longer sideways than it is tall. Otherwise, it's going to look like a square, which is okay too, I guess. Doesn't hurt anything if his head's a little more square shaped. Now we do the top. Nice and easy. Okay. So we have the bucket. If your lines here on the sides don't connect, go ahead and bring those in and connect those. So the little back edge of your bucket comes around and wraps. If you can imagine, wraps behind our little fish's head, right? Goes around the back. Now, we're not going to add any detail to the eyes just yet. We're going to put in the outlines for his little shoulders. One's about right here. One's over here. Now, I'm not going to worry about these lines in here, the edges, just yet. We'll see if we add them in a little bit later. For now, I'm just putting in his little body. Okay, those are little shoulder lines right here. Okay, and of course, if these are the edges of his head, his shoulders come in a little bit. All right. We're not going to do his little hands just yet. We'll worry about those later. We're gonna add those in a little bit here. So let's look back at the face. He's got his little mouth, just right about here in the center somewhere. Right, so this mouth right here, the opening is about right in the middle. If you were to draw a little line across the middle, top and bottom, side to side, that's about right here. That's about where the middle of his mouth opening is. It almost looks like a watermelon wedge, right? Like a watermelon slice or an apple or orange wedge. So we're going to start with the top of his little mouth. Kind of does this. It's a little too big, so let's make it smaller. Not that long. Okay. Like that. Okay, now underneath. Just come down, go under, comes across. And there we go. Little axolotl has a mouth now. And then, of course, got these big eyeballs. All they are is large ovals, and they're slightly at an angle like this. They're not straight up, they're slightly angled. Okay, so we'll start right here. Remember, keep your pencil lines light. It makes it easy to make corrections. You don't get a lot of smudges. Like I'm making that eye too big, so I just erase it, and we go again. A little smaller. And again, they're oval shaped. Okay. There's one. Other one sits on the other side at about the same distance from the mouth. Just going to make a little correction right there. Okay, right here. know I'm blocking the view a little bit. Two little ovals for the mouth. Sorry, two little ovals for the eyes. Jesse's lacking a little bit of sleep. Excuse me. Okay, so work on your little ovals there. Let's see if you guys have any questions for me. What's happening, Jesse? Morgan Spans, how are you? Haven't seen you in a little while. Hello to you and your kiddos. Please tell them hello for me. Jessica Olsen Jensen, yes, here. Your kids can come back and watch this right here on Facebook later today. As soon as the live session's over, I save it, and all you do is come over to Painting with Jesse, and you'll see it. Just scroll down a little bit because it's done today. You'll see it in the live in the feed. Otherwise, click on the live tab at the top of the page, and it'll take you to the live videos. Okay. What's happening, Pixie and Aurora in Wisconsin? Trip and Finn will do it later. Sounds good, Nicole. Sounds good, Zuli. Sounds awesome. Come on back and paint it later. Okay, so what's next? We got the little head, we got the little mouth, and I think his mouth is a little too big, so I'm going to make it a little smaller. Again, no worries about erasing, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but if there's something you want to erase, then go ahead and erase it. Again, nothing wrong with erasing. I know sometimes some people hate to erase. I remember when I was little and first learning to draw, I hated erasing. I would get so frustrated. I hated smudge marks. But guess what? Here I am an adult years later, still drawing and still erasing. It's part of it. It's okay. That's how your drawings get better, by erasing. We're not robots. We're not computers. We're going to make little mistakes here and there, and that's okay. Okay. And then in the end, again, you don't have to make it perfect. There's no problem if yours looks a little differently than the actual image you're trying to make. I know we're all trying to make them look as perfect as possible, but it's okay to not have anything perfect. All right. So next thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over. I'm going to go ahead and put in that little border, a little circle edge. So first, before I do that, I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to refine my edge right in here. I'm not going to go across all the way through the middle just yet. Got those little arms I'm going to be adding here in a moment. Okay. So but first, before I make that inside line, I'm going to go ahead and add in the little arms. And the little arms are just a couple little lines that come in from this side. So right above this edge right here, I'm going to draw a little line that kind of curves in just a bit. Now, those of you with kiddos, they're going to be in the membership, in the art membership. We're going to be doing lots of stuff like this for the kids' part. Lots of drawing tutorials, lots of painting tutorials, a little something new every month. And everything's recorded and archived, so you can always come back and watch it at your convenience. Okay, so those are the edges of that arm right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in those little fingers. Actually, before I add the little fingers, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this little circle part right there. It's almost like an upside down U. Almost looks like a U or part of a circle. Okay, like that. Then we're going to add the little fingers. You got it, Jessica. Here we go. Let me increase my screen size there so I can see what you guys are seeing. Okay, so the little fingers, has 3 little fingers, he or she. One right there, looks like a little rectangle. Another one here. Okay, and then one more right over here. Okay, make them a little thicker, a little bit wider. Again, if you're planning on painting yours, keep your pencil lines nice and light. Okay, all right, over here, other arm. It's about the same length as this one. Okay, so we're going to go like this. First one side, curves, then the other. slightly curved, and then a little rounded bottom, and his little squirt fingers. There's one. If I'm going a little too fast, let me know. If you're on YouTube, you can back up the live feed. If you're on Facebook, you cannot. Well, I thought I heard my camera click. It sounded like it had turned off. I said, uh-oh. Okay. Just cleaning up my smudge lines a little bit. Now I can come over here and bring my edge here. This edge right in here, I'm going to bring it across. Okay. Now I want to bring my lines a little tiny bit up like this. Now what I'm going to do, let me erase the shoulders a tiny bit. I'm going to go ahead and take my pencil and create this line in here, the edge of that rim. It starts back here somewhere. All it is a little line that follows the curvature of the top of your rim. Comes across. Over on the other side. Curves back behind your little fish's head. Okay, let me give you a close-up. Now what you want to do with the outlines of the arms, you want to bring them up just a little bit above that back line. Okay, a little bit. And now we can go ahead and put in his little shoulders. Okay, we're getting there. Not much to this. I'm going to give you a little bit to catch up there. As I take a drink of my coffee. Cheers to all of you. Don't know what you're drinking, but I'm over here sipping on a little bit of coffee. And then I'm gonna go and take a little step back and look at my drawing from a bit of a distance. Make sure that everything looks okay. It's always good to stand up, take a little step back, make little adjustments if you need to, right? You look at it. So sometimes by standing back, you get a nice view of everything, okay? For example, I can see that my bucket is a little bit taller than the original, and that's okay. I can leave it like that, but if I wanted to, I would just erase the bottom edge and raise it up a little bit, okay? I'm not going to do that because I'm okay with what we've got right now. But if I wanted to make an adjustment, I could. Okay. All right. Next step. Here we go. We're going to add the little things coming off the top of his head. They're like little tendrils. I was looking at pictures of actual axolotl fishes, and they're actually they're water salamanders, and they live in they're found in Mexico. The water's in Mexico. I was looking at the pronunciation of the actual. It's in the name is actually an Indian name, an indigenous name. So it's it's an interesting name. But they're little salamanders, super cute. Well, I think they're cute. Some of you might think they're a little strange looking. This little guy's cute here, though. But all right, here we go. Right here on the edge. We're gonna start with this guy over here. And it just looks like a little stair step, right? Like you're creating a set of stairs or steps. This one's going to start at the top. I'm going to start it right about right here. Okay. Hi, Adriana. No, not at all. This is just a little pop-up live session where we can talk about the membership, Adriana. But no, it's not. The membership doors open on August 2nd. That's the day that everything happens. I sent you out an email. For those of you that are part of the membership, that are already subscribed to the membership, make sure you're looking for my emails. I've sent out at least one email to the people that have already become members. Unless you became a member last night or sometime today, excuse me, you've already got an email from me with some basic details and a survey. I threw out some questions there. And then later in the week, so the membership doors close this evening. Tomorrow, actually, let's make it Monday. By Monday, if not tomorrow, you'll get another email from me kind of giving you the calendar of events, the process on how you're going to be accessing the private group here on Facebook, right? It's a private group. Only members are going to be able to get access to it with some detail around that. But today's little session is just a little pop-up for everyone to enjoy. And we can talk about the membership, questions in the membership if you have any. But here we go. Little stairs coming up. Comes down. So that's that side. Comes in, drops back down, and then in. Okay. Next one right here. That guy starts right up here somewhere. Up, over, up again, comes over, comes down, comes across. Okay. Next one. We're going to start this one on that side, right there. Okay, and then we come across, up, over the top, just a bunch of straight little lines. I'm going to make this a little bit wider. There we go. You did, Adriana. Okay, make sure you look for an email from me. Okay, I sent you an email a few days ago. I know you were one of the first ones to register. So I did send you an email. If you're using Gmail, though, if you have a Gmail, make sure you go look at your the email list. Your email in your promotions folder. Okay, because those, for some reason, they go into the promotions folder on Gmail. Okay, now we're going to start over on this side. We're going to start with the back part. But yes, I saw that you registered, Adriana. Just again, make sure that you look for that email. It just has some few basic information on there. The emails that I'm sending out during the rest of the week, once the doors close tonight, those are the more important ones because those will give us give you more details around just more important stuff. Okay, but yeah, if you have Gmail, make sure you're looking in your promotions folder or whatever email you have. If you have not seen my emails yet, make sure you go over to the your spam file because your email may have stuck them there. All right, sorry, just making a little adjustment right here. Okay, we're going to work the back part. This side over here. This comes out, comes back up, comes over, down. Another little step, and then connects right there at the top. This guy's a little too wide, so I'm going to make him a little skinnier. Okay, there we go. Now, we got another one right here. Same thing. And I'm trying to make them about the same size, right? About the same size. We want a little bit of symmetry. Where one side looks like the other side. We got one more. There we go. Okay, so take a moment on that. Yes, Adriana, the boot with the flowers was recorded. Okay, we only did the drawing part of it. I'm not planning on painting that one, but if you want to paint that, of course, you can always do that on your own. I might come in and do a session on painting that next week sometime before the membership starts, if there's time. Okay, if there's time to do the boot with flowers one. So what Adriana's talking about is at 10 o'clock. I did one a really cool little drawing with a boot and flowers in it. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you go back. Let me grab it here. Give me a second. I'll show you guys what that is. The session is recorded. What she's talking about is this right in here. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. So we did this earlier. Okay, or let me cover up. It's right in here. I taught you how to draw that. We used a reference photo and took some elements from it to draw this from scratch. Now, again, if you want to paint it on your own, absolutely you can. I don't know that I'm going to come back and do the painting session for that, but I might if there's time. Okay, if there's time next week. Got lots going on, lots of prep to do for the membership. So I'm not sure that I'll have time, but we'll see. But okay, let's come back to our little fish here. Right in here, the inside of the other side of the rim. He's in water, so that's a little water surface right there. The surface of the water is indicated by those lines. So right in here, we're just going to come over and go like this. Same thing over on this side. Okay. Okay, and then let me see right here. I'm just defining my edges really quickly, right? And then just gonna clean that up. And then my edges, I'm just gonna take my lines right here and define them a little bit more, make them stand out a bit. And then around the bottom, define that also. Got the little handles to do. We're going to go ahead and add those in now. Last things that we're doing to the drawing. Let's see. So this little part right here comes out. It almost looks like it starts to be a circle, but not quite. Okay. Then we got the handle. We're going to start with this line right here. That line's going to connect down here somewhere. So from right here, comes down. So for that, I grab my pencil a little closer to the edge, to the tip. Makes it easier for me to control my line. Okay, and then I also use my hand against the canvas to stabilize it. Okay, the top. Come over on the other side. Remember, folks, everybody's drawing creations around art turn out a little bit differently. It's okay. You don't have to go for perfect. Okay. Oftentimes we create a really unique version that still looks really nice, but it's ours. It's our own. It doesn't have to look exactly like the original version. Yes, you can try if you want. No big deal. But remember that if yours looks a little bit differently, that's okay. It's your art. And if you want, you can make changes also. Okay. So just coming over, drawing that little guy now. So that handle is going to end up right over here somewhere. So from here, we're going to come down. Don't want you stressing. Enjoy the process. And remember, with practice, you just get better and better. Especially when you're young, when you're little. You're still you're strengthening your motor skills. And of course, adults like to draw this stuff too. So same goes for you. I enjoy these. These are fun. Kids drawings or more or younger themed drawings and paintings will hone your skills. You can transfer over to more complex paintings and drawings. Okay. Now this is a little bit of water coming out of the bucket. Let's add that in. Why not? Why not? We'll start over here. Okay, so I'm just going to define this edge right here a little more. So I got some water coming down. It goes up, goes over, comes down like this, comes back over. Don't forget this little angle, important. Comes up. Okay, it goes behind the hand and arm. Now over here, this part. Down, goes over, up, back down, up, and then out. Okay. And of course, all that would be water. Let me change the screen view here. Excuse me. I'm just changing the view for myself so I can get a better view. It increases the size of the image on the screen, and I'm better able to see what you guys are all doing. So there it is. There's our little axolotl fish in a bucket. What do you guys think? Pretty cool, huh? And of course, I always tell you guys, take a little step back, look at your drawing from a distance, make sure that you're not missing anything, right? Make sure that your proportions are good. It just, when you step back, it's more easily you can make your adjustments. Like, for example, again, I'm not going for perfect. It's not that big of a deal, but this little handle is slightly higher up than this one is. That's okay. But it's easier for me to see that when I step back. I'm up really close, especially if I'm over at an angle like I was when I was drawing it, and that's harder to see. But over here from a little bit of a distance, I'll look at it and I go, oh yeah, I can see that now. Okay, so just little things. Now what I'll do is I'll look at it. What else? What else can I do? Is there anything else that I'm missing? Anything else that I can make an adjustment on? If I wanted to, I could come in here and add the little shaded areas like here, the little shade under the head, the shadow in here. In other words, these little shadows, right? Shadows, the light source, depending on where the light is, you could add those in there. Okay, we're not going to do that today. There's no need for it. You can if you'd like. Also, like these little reflections here. These are just little reflections of light. Okay, well, we could do that. The only thing that I'm going to add is maybe a little floor. Let's give our little bucket. There's going to be a floor. I'm going to go through here and erase these lines that I added in earlier when I marked off the center of my canvas. I'm just going to remove those. And then down here, that little line that goes across. Other side. This is the floor. Okay. Just like that. But okay. So, as I mentioned, we're not painting this today. Same thing as with the flowers and the boot one that we did earlier. If there's time, I'll come back and paint it during the week. I don't think we will have that chance, so I would encourage you to to paint it on your own. You can use colored pencils, you can use acrylic paint, whatever you'd like. It's up to you. Markers, crayons. But have fun with it, and then you can always come back and do this again. Practice your drawing. The more you practice, even though it's the same thing you've already drawn, if you practice it over and over again, you will get better at it. Okay, so maybe you make one for your friend. Make some for your friends. Give them away as gifts if you'd like. Okay, but all right, everyone, that's our little session for today. Our little drawing session. Remember, this is being recorded, so if you missed this or if you're not done with it, as soon as I and the video will be found under the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page here. Okay. Once again, just want to remind you guys, membership doors close tonight at midnight. So if you're planning on joining in, don't wait till the last minute, simply because if there's any issues with the links or the payment processing, et cetera, you want to be able to fix those before midnight. Okay, midnight is the cutoff. So midnight Pacific time. So I do appreciate you being here with me today. I hope you had some fun. I enjoyed this little session. Again, if you're part of the membership, when we do the membership, once that launches, we're going to have more stuff like this for the kids component of that. We're going to have both, content for children and for adults. This is just some of the stuff that's in there. Awesome, Nicole. Fantastic. Do me a favor and send me a picture. Okay, I'd love to see you guys' work. You guys are always awesome and produce really fun paintings. So would love to see how those turn out. But enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed the session, and hope you enjoy the painting part of it that you're going to be doing here in a little bit on your own, it sounds like. But all right, everyone. Thank you once again. Hope you all have an amazing day. Send me any questions that you might have directly here on Messenger. And if you want to send me a picture of your drawing, I would greatly appreciate it. Send it to Messenger here on Painting with Jesse. Okay, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.